All right. Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Today is a very important episode, Zach.
I agree.
Why is it an important episode, Zach?
Because this is the Demon Slayer special.
Demon Slayer. Normie Anime. Yes.
Okay. I am so excited to finally have a chance to sit down and talk about this because like this is one of those shows that in between us watching it, I had to resist the urge to look it up and like look into it more.
Yeah.
Just for the sheer fact that it was like I want to know more. It's so
I know.
So
Dude,
good.
when I titled one of our episodes as what did it? Zach is now a weeb. By the way, a telemarketer is calling me, but you guys can't see that. I titled it "Zach is now a weeb" during the Kimi no Nawa or the Your Name episode. That was half true because you did kinda. Now Zach is a weeb. Now Zach, after watching Normie Slayer.
Yes, after watching one of my favorite animes so far.
Yes.
And I will say it was very fascinating to go through that journey with you. And we watched the episode.
And we'll talk about the episode. But listen, my pitch to Zach was the episode. And I didn't tell him what the episode was, but everybody knows what the episode is in Demon Slayer. You know what I mean? Everybody knows.
Right.
So when I said, Zach, when the episode comes, you're going to come. And when the episode came,
I also came.
You came. You're like, Arthur, is this that was the episode? I was like, yep, that was the episode.
I was about to say, dude, how could it get more fucking hype than that? Like that was insanity. And I love the way that this show was paced because it really started to drill into your mind like this character is kind of forced to their hand was kind of forced.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Tanjiro.
Sure. So let's give okay, in case you aren't a normie, in case you aren't a normal person and you haven't seen Demon Slayer, there's anime that even if you don't watch anime, you've seen Demon Slayer. That is what Demon Slayer is.
Yeah.
Right? It is, that's why I call it the Normie Anime. This Jujutsu Kaisen, Hunter x Hunter, you know, you don't know these shows, but these are the shows that are just the normie shows, which isn't not a bad thing because Demon Slayer is a great anime. Jujutsu Kaisen is a great anime. Hunter x Hunter is probably a great anime. I don't know. I haven't seen it. There's like 50 billion episodes. It is, remember when I explained, Zach, that after we graduated high school, people started watching anime?
I do remember that.
It started with Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is why. Demon Slayer is why. No, I'm being serious. Some of you are laughing right now. I'm serious. I'm witnessed this. I witnessed this. Demon Slayer is the reason why anime is now popular in the West.
Yes.
Period. Not Naruto, not Dragon Ball Z, not Bleach, not
fucking One Punch Man.
One Punch Man, One Punani Man.
Is that what monogamy
not
is?
Death Note. None of them. Those were still weeb culture. Normie still, but weeb culture stuff.
Those shows were kind of like the precursor for what was to come, essentially.
Demon Slayer, Zach, was the show that said, oh, anime is kind of cool here in the West.
Okay, I want to emphasize something, and I never really understood the significance of this until like we sat down and talked about it a lot. So we have pulled up my anime list.
Yeah.
And we're there.
New scene. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. They did the thing. Audio listeners have no clue what we're talking about.
So basically we're looking at my anime list and we look like we are a reaction channel right now. So
welcome to another Fine Bros. Do they still do stuff?
I think so. I don't fucking know. Anyway,
we can't say react, otherwise we're gonna get copyright strikes. Because they trademarked that.
That's fucking stupid. Anyways,
we're trademarking the term weeb here. If you say weeb, we collect your money.
We collect your money. Anyways, 8.58. I'm pointing at it because our money.
You know, I'm actually surprised because I actually didn't know that. because Demon Slayer, like I explained, well, not like I explained, because we're going to talk about this. So, okay, I need to preface this right now. During the Bunny Senpai episode, I understand it was kind of everywhere. I don't think we're going to do the same format as that. I don't think we're just going to break down each arc. I think we're just going to talk about Demon Slayer this time, right?
Yeah.
I think we're just going to talk about it. So we're not going to like, okay, episode 1, like we did in Bunny Girl. Although Bunny Girl Senpai was formatted to kind of do that, So what are you going to do? Demon Slayer, I think we can just sit down and just talk about it. We have some beverages, but we are of age, so it's okay. And we are drinking privately, so it's also okay. Also, we're using G Fuel cups, so that's even better.
Cheers.
Oh. Boop. So.
Arthur, I really hope this is the first beverage of the day, because otherwise it's going to be a long
don't worry,
episode.
Zach. I'm already a searing alcoholic, so it doesn't matter, No, I'm just joking. I'm joking, by the way. I can hold my liquor very well. Anyways.
Dude, okay. Synopsis time.
Synopsis time. I was going to say, sorry. I want to talk about the fan base of Demon Slayer. Just because it's an interesting topic.
Yeah.
I will say, coming from someone who does not partake in things like anime community, or I am in the anime Twitter type of space, but I don't take a part in like waifu wars and anime wars, like, oh, my anime is better than your that type of thing.
Right.
I don't know if you, from me saying that, can tell that sounds stupid as shit. So, but I don't want to talk about that. Anyways, hit us with a synopsis, Zach, because this is your episode. This is Zach's episode to prove to all the people watching that he is now one of us.
One of us. Shark bait. Hoo ha ha. Okay, so
let's go.
Synopsis time.
Don't even read it. Don't read the synopsis. The synopsis is right there. Don't read it, Zach.
Okay, fine.
Look over here. Look at me. Look at me.
I'm looking at you. Okay, so basically, a guy named Tanjiro who lives up in the mountain. He lives with his family, and he spends his days selling coal. And so one day he was out in the town selling coal, and he ends up
charcoal from the wood. I have to say this because the Demon Slayer community will get mad if you brush the details, Zach. It needs to be fine-penned.
I'm sorry.
It needs to be. If you are incorrect by the slightest detail, they will come after you.
Now I'm scared. So he was selling charcoal to the people in the little town that's at the bottom of the hill, and so one day he was going back up the hill. It was later in the day, and then a gentleman by the name of, I don't even remember his name.
I don't remember his name.
Dude, old dude, bro, man. He tells Tanjiro to stay at his house for the night because it's very dangerous because there are demons out.
There's demons in Demon Slayer?
Dude, no fucking way.
There's demons. Oh my god. Do they slay them?
I don't know, dude. I guess we're gonna have to watch and find out. And so the man proceeds to tell Tanjiro about demons and all of that kind of stuff, and Tanjiro is like, oh, that's, there's no such thing as demons. And then he goes back up the hill, and his family is dead, except for his sister Nezuko.
Yes. Who's still breathing.
Or still
alive. So one thing to note is that Tanjiro has like a really good keen sense of smell.
Yes.
Just because, as he does, right? As one might. So he can that's how he noticed that there was something wrong in his house, because he smelled the blood, he smelled the demon. Well, I don't think it's been a while since we watched episode 1, but this is my rewatch. First of all, I watched it not while it aired, but when the episode came.
You were like, dude, I need to fucking watch this.
I need to watch
shit.
this.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen Twitter explode for something that wasn't like Attack on Titan and Naruto. So, well, I say Naruto, but I don't know. Maybe Twitter exploded in Naruto back when Naruto was airing. I don't know. But besides the point, so that's also a detail. He does that keen sense of smell, and he could tell that something was wrong. He went over to his house. Shit was not okay. His family's dead. Like not just dead, like slaughtered,
Right.
Like as if, I think he explained, like as if like a bear or something came in, right?
Yeah.
And it was a very horrific scene, very detailed.
Okay, just a little random side note. I love just the sheer amount of detail that went into like the goriness.
Oh yeah, the production value was insane in the Demon Slayer. I don't know where I never even heard of Demon Slayer before the anime came out, so I wasn't sure of how popular the manga was. But I mean, they have like Ufotable. I think Ufotable was in charge of Demon Slayer, I think, which is a studio. I could check, because I can.
I think they were.
Studio Ufotable, Ufotable, who you guys know, but Zach, they fight scenes, animation, they're very known, Fate, you guys know Ufotable, Sword Art Online, although I don't know if they're in charge of Ufotable was in charge, but I know they helped or they did something. I can't remember, but I know A1 was in charge of Sword Art Online. Anyways, crazy shit. Where was I getting at? Yeah, the detail is very crazy. They got a crazy studio for it, and they're not skimping, They went crazy. And I'm not you know me, I'm not good with like gore and stuff, Demon Slayer was okay. I feel like though it was gore, it wasn't like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't the type of gore that was like disturbing.
Yeah.
It was just gory, there was blood and stuff, right?
Yeah, it was more so artistic than like gross.
Artistic, I guess you can describe it as
like
artistic.
if you're using blood to describe really anything, there's a sense of like goriness to it inherently.
Sure.
And so when that's the first time that we as viewers can see just how ferocious demons can be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what kind of made the fact that Nezuko turned into a demon, like that's just what turned it into like oh shit, she's gonna die. Like that's really fucking unfortunate. Like, this poor guy just watched his entire family die, and now he has to see his sister die directly in front of him.
Mm-hmm. Well, not die, but turn into a demon.
Yeah, turn into
a demon.
Yeah,
to lose her humanity and potentially kill him and other humans.
Right. Yeah, and I think the moment that we first meet a demon slayer, that is such a fucking
Tomioka,
cool...
I think. Tomioka Gyu. I know it's Gyu. Tomioka. Yeah, Tomioka Gyu.
Yeah, that was such a cool moment.
Good guy.
Yeah.
It was very cool. So far, Zach, I've shown you through the flow chart, Demon Slayer is technically not there.
Right.
Technically. Because I feel like Demon Slayer is an anime, even if I give you a flow chart, as a beginner anime watcher, you'll just end up watching Demon Slayer. Your friends will probably talk about it, Now that you're in the conversation of anime, you'd be like, oh, you guys talking about Demon Slayer? I should watch that, It's on Netflix, It's like, which honestly, maybe we should have watched it on Netflix. I don't know. But actually, no, I'd rather watch it on Crunchyroll anyways. Besides the point, it's not on the flow chart. So at this point, I've made you watch, to go the opposite route. Normally people would say, watch Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, the mainstream normie anime, right? Quote unquote.
Yeah.
And then you might be able to break into the not mainstream anime.
So,
yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt for just a second.
Yes.
So, the shows that you have shown me so far on the flowchart are not necessarily quote unquote not in the mainstream because they're bad shows. It's because they're a different type of anime that may not necessarily be attractive to like the general public.
Yes.
Because the Shogun, like super action packed, like
Shonen.
Shonen?
Yeah, Shonen. Shogun is like a general Japanese general type of thing.
Oh,
Shonen means for boys. Shonen Jump, that type of stuff.
Okay. So, shonen, my brain is just fried. I just worked like 36 hours in 3 days. I'm sorry. So, those are the types of shows that are going to be like attracting probably like the most quote unquote mainstream attention.
Right.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that the shows that are more so story based than action based, that doesn't mean that those shows are bad, or that doesn't mean that those shows are not going to be popular. It's just, different strokes for different folks. Everyone likes their own different types of shows, and that goes the same way with anime. And so I think it's really awesome that we started with the shows that were very thought-provoking and very just kind of fascinating with the allure of the plot of the show. And then we got to watch some badass hype shit. Like, I think that that's really cool. And I think that Demon Slayer was probably one of those shows that really made me realize, like, damn it, Arthur won. He won.
I won, of course. Because I always say I'm right. I'm always right, Zach. Most of the time, if I have an inkling, I'm right.
Right.
And I'm not saying this as a pretentious asshole. I'm saying it because I have proof. I have proven evidence of every time I've said anything. Like, if for not just for anime, purchase decisions, stuff like that, you know, I say, look, I don't think you should do this or that. And I think maybe you should do this. And you're like, no, it's all good. Or I say, maybe you should do this. Maybe you should try anime. Maybe you should read manga. It's not like, you know, you just read it, you know, it's, I don't like reading manga. I don't like reading. And then they read it and they're like, okay, you were right. I know I was right. What do you mean? Of course, because I have a track record of being right, you know? Sorry, that sounds terrible.
Also, the keyboard behind you just fell.
It did? Because I was angry.
I was very angry.
Look, I'm going to fix my keyboard in a second, but audio listeners don't even know about it. Anyways, the reason why I don't have you watch, or have in the flowchart, I don't have people watch Demon Slayer or Jujutsu Kaisen or those type of shows first, is because, let me put it this way, if you ride the sickest roller coaster in the amusement park, the other roller coasters are going to just feel not as fun or stupid.
Yeah.
They have their own appeals, but it's like, oh, I don't know, the adrenaline, you know, I want that adrenaline. I want the same, I'm gonna just ride the same, I'm just going to ride that roller coaster again. Screw it, because it's the craziest one, the baddest one. Let's say you watch the movies of some sort of series, but there's a book. You're probably not going to read the book.
Right.
Because you seen something that can get you adrenaline pumping, something super cool, and then there's like a source material, or there's another, or there's more options, and you're like, the movie was better. Or I'd rather, I'm just cool with the movie, you know?
Yeah.
That's the issue that I have. So I think in general, if you watch anime, you'll just watch those type of shows anyway at some point. So I would rather have you watch these other shows. And I mean, yes, you would describe them as like thought-provoking and stuff. And to be fair, sure, in comparison to like the mainstream Normie Anime, right? This is quickly turning into like a Normie Anime discussion rather than a Demon Slayer episode discussion, but we'll talk about it, of course. I have you watch like Erased and No Game No Life and those type of shows, right? You know, and those are technically shonen. Technically. For boys. You haven't seen anything shoujo. Trust me, when you see shoujo, just you can tell right away. Trust me. But those are technically shonen, and those technically, I mean, like Erased and No Game No Life, they were technically pretty fast paced for the most part, you know. But they didn't have the same mainstream type of feel, because you can tell I call them power shonen, because Erased and No Game No Life and Bunny Girl Senpai, those are shonen technically, but they don't feel like Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
They don't feel like Naruto. They don't feel like Dragon Ball. There's a different air to it.
Right.
Which is why I call them power shonen, you know, because it's really like heroic and, you know, like a action, crazy stuff and that type of stuff. Yeah. And that's fine, but that's what that demographic is. And it's hard to lump that with other shonen that aren't like that. Right. So that's why I put them differently. And you will watch those at some point anyways. But if you watch a power shonen, 9 out of 10 times, you're probably not going to watch Erased if I tell you to watch Erased.
Right.
Is what I've gotten to.
And I would say, for me, having watched both, I think that there's kind of like a time and a place for each one. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we've had the conversation of like, and we use the example of music, but it works with shows and TV and that kind of stuff too. Depending on what kind of mood you're in, or the types of emotions that you want to feel with any given show or any given genre of music or anything like that, you know, there's a show for that. And if you just want to get fucking hyped, then watch Demon Slayer. But if you want to kind of have something that will be a little bit more, I don't know if I want to say well, I guess thought-provoking was the best way to put it. Like something that was a little bit more... Thought-provoking is the way... I mean, because Demon Slayer still has like these things to think about, right? But
like I said, just in comparison, it's just a little different. Thought-provoking is the best way to describe it, but I wouldn't say like, I don't know. It's not like because there are thinkier shows.
Right.
But thought-provoking is like the best way just to describe it generally, but that's again not to say that Demon Slayer isn't. There's just an obvious different air between Demon Slayer and another show.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to get at is if you watch Demon Slayer, you rode that banging roller coaster. You want to ride, how do I get something like this? It's not going to be Erased or No Game No Life. It's going to be Hunter x Hunter and Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah.
And then you get stuck in that power shonen circle, which you don't want to leave. Which I understand because, you want to have that same experience because that was your first experience. And it was really good because like I said, these shows are good. These are good shows.
Yeah.
But you then don't want to branch out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can definitely understand why you wouldn't really want to leave that type of super hype power shonen type atmosphere because it's such an intoxicating feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we were watching Demon Slayer, at the end of every single episode, I was like, dude, I fucking love this show.
I know. Every single episode, you're like, I fucking love Arthur. I'm like, yeah, I love this show. I know you do. You tell me every single episode. While every single time the credits roll, every single time the ED plays, you're like, Arthur, I fucking love this show. And I'm like, yeah. I bet, don't you?
Well,
don't you know, bud?
Yeah. And it wasn't. It was like.
No, it was genuine. I can tell it was genuine.
Yeah, it was 100% genuine. And that was definitely one of those moments where I really started to realize that anime is one of those things that is just like there's just a different way to tell a story through anime than there is for anything else. And I think that that's what's made me love watching these shows with you is that it's as similar as the story may be from like really any other show that you would watch. It was one of those situations where it was like they're telling this story that I've heard before, but they're telling it in a very interesting and fascinating way. Mm-hmm. And Demon Slayer was definitely one of those like it's a different story from what I've seen before, but it's very similar to the almost like zombie apocalypse type thing where it's just like, we have to learn how to stay alive and how to protect the people around me. It's like, it's similar yet different, but they were able to tell the story in such an amazing way that they were able to just absolutely draw my attention. And we would watch 6 episodes in one night and I'm like, oh, like they did such an amazing job with the storytelling of this show. And the way that they were able to represent the trials and tribulations of training to become a demon slayer, even though it was only like 4 or 5 episodes out of the entire series.
Because like if you were to watch like any other power shonen with more than 12 or 20 episodes, man, those filler episodes, the training arc episodes, Zach, are immaculate. I will say, they I'll say they do not only last like 3 episodes, but Demon Slayer, I think they did it well in a way that they had enough training and they compacted it enough to really make it feel like there was a lot happening, and he did go through a lot. And you can tell because I got it handed to the voice actors, the voice actors and actresses of Demon Slayer. Very good seiyuu, very popular seiyuu, very veteran voice actors, and the voice actor for Tenjo, who I cannot remember his name for the freaking life of me. You can check my anime list if you want to see that. But what is it? Natsuki, right? Something Natsuki. Hanae?
Yeah.
Hanae Natsuki. Yeah. So he did things like oh gosh, who else did he do? Like 9S from Nier, right? Although that's a game. He has just this amazing voice. And the entire cast does. And they're this is another thing I say about like English dub versus sub, it's not that English dub is bad per se. It's just that Japanese dub or Japanese voice actors are just on a different level.
Right.
I mean, they're performing.
Yeah.
So the way, I know this is super tangenty. I'm so sorry. But the way, say, you usually do things is that what happens is an entire scene is an act. It's a performance. There's one mic. You have your script. When your time has come, you walk up and you start talking.
That's so fucking cool.
And then you go back and like they'll do all these things to get into the mood and stuff, you know, and when they're in pain and stuff, you know, they you can tell it's very different. You know, where English voice, again, I'm not saying it's bad because I mean, I enjoy cartoons here, you know,
yeah.
The SpongeBob's and such, they're really good, but it's different. It's just the way to do it because they're not like, I think I mentioned before in another episode, say you are not just, or say you being voice actress and voice actors in Japanese, in Japan, they're not just voice actors and actresses. They're like basically idols. They're actors, they're performers. They do music. They're on shows and radio, and they do photo shoots and stuff. Like
right.
they're on magazines, you know. So they're a little different than voice actors here in the West, where you don't even probably know who the voice actor of like, I don't know, Squidward is.
Fair enough.
Right?
Yeah.
Squidward is he's a guy. Everybody knows Squidward. You don't know his voice actor.
Right. Yeah, and when you have such talented people who are taking on these roles in such a serious way, it really sets a different tone to how the story is being portrayed in the first place. Mm-hmm. Because it's the same type of thing where, you know, you would have actors who would spend months preparing for a role. Mm-hmm. It's the same type of thing, except for the only thing that's different is that the only way that they're able to portray the emotion of a character is through their voice. Mm-hmm. And that is probably one of the most difficult things that you could potentially do because, like, yeah, it's just fucking bonkers. And when they're able to do such a fucking phenomenal job like they did in Demon Slayer, and, you know, there were those moments where you're like, I'm really freaking out about a drawing right now. A drawing!
They said it's just a drawing, Zach!
But it's not. It's not.
It's not. There's so much more to it. There's a characterization that's built by writing and voice acting and music and all these sorts of things, Zach.
Oh my God. Okay.
The music in Demon Slayer. I know you want to talk about it. I know we want to talk about it. Because we're music nerds.
We're already slouching. We've only been recording for like half an hour and we're already fucking just like, oh my God.
This is why we needed to loosen up because this episode deserves it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But dude, the way that Demon Slayer was basically just one orchestration that just kind of, it just like intertwined with the story that was being told, the different type of animation that they used. And I love the way that this show is animated because it almost seems like it's very rigid. Like the lines are very, very sharp and straight. And that really kind of gave it like a dark, gloomy tone to it. But also there were those moments where it was just absolutely beautiful colors and like all of that kind of stuff. You know, it was just, it's just the way that they were able to really play with the animation of this show was definitely something that I was super fucking impressed with. And like, you know, it's just like, oh, that's a perfect example. Yeah.
Do the wisteria flowers. I love the wisteria flowers. Oh my gosh. Because during this episode, like, so I'm showing it for the audio listeners. I'm just showing a pic of when he made it out of the tournament arc. What the hell is it called?
Final selection.
Final selection. Look at this guy. This guy right here. Look at him. Fucking God. He knows. See, this is how I can see. You can tell. See, he paid attention. He wasn't watching anime on another monitor while he was doing other stuff. Okay? Like you, pussy.
Paul. Fucking Paul.
Paul is just dislike this video, Zach. No, you know, when he left the selection or whatever, he went to this wisteria, which the wisteria is like a flower that demons aren't really good, don't really like to touch or whatever. And it was so pretty because he just left this forest. He just finished this boss fight, you know?
Right.
And it's like, it's so pretty, you know? The purple, like this crazy juxtaposition of just darkness to light and purity, you know?
Right.
Everything about Demon Slayer did things for a certain reason. For aesthetic reasons, artistic reasons, for all sorts of different design concepts.
Right.
And it's very, like, it's not just, I think, because most of Demon Slayer has been dark. That's been basically the theme of Demon Slayer. The basic color grading, the gradient mapping of Demon Slayer, the depth mapping of Demon Slayer is just darkness. Because, I mean, you know, when you're fighting demons and stuff, it's just, you know, what am I trying to say? It's at night, right? Because demons don't come out in the day, you know? It's just darkness, you know? So whenever there's light, it changes the atmosphere, it changes the mood. You can tell there's a different air to it. And it's just like, you know what I mean? It's crazy. So everything that Demon Slayer does artistically, visually, is very different. It's or not very different. Sorry. There's a purpose for it. There really is. There's a directing for it. There's so much to it, you know? So I don't think, you know, I think you can tell when you rewatch it, mostly. For most people. For most people, you watch it the first time and you're like, that was an awesome anime.
Yeah.
That was great. That was super cool, you know?
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
And then you rewatch it, and then now that you know everything, because I rewatched it again, you know? I rewatched it. Now that I know everything, you know, I can now think of everything else. I've said it so many times. This is why you rewatch it. This is why you reread things.
Right.
You know, people are like, why would you do that? You know, there's no real reason. It's because now that you know that everything that's happened, you know that what's going to happen, now you can pay your mind to different things. You can pay your mind to the story more, the plot more.
Right.
The design elements more, the music more, the characters more.
Also, I realized that they can see my poor spelling. But anyways, yeah. So there are moments like this where they're obviously like they're combining so many different storytelling elements just into like one freeze frame. Into one freeze frame, you can really start to see the attention to detail to not even just to how the characters are animated, but also to how their surroundings are created, and it's just so fucking cool. And you know, as somebody who, you know, I am very much like an artsy fartsy, like I love taking pictures and like I love art of any type. And so when I see something that is just a culmination of all of the things that I really enjoy, it's just like, oh, yes.
I think it's because you're a photographer and I'm a video editor that we notice these extra details. Because, you know, even this scene that you have pulled up right here, which is this picture of Tenjiro with Nezuko on her back, you know, there's a lot to it. There really is, you know?
Yeah.
The framing, the framework of it. Well, okay, I feel like it probably, I don't know, maybe like, oh my gosh, even this shot, you know?
Oh my God, yeah.
Like, there's so... It's like like if you're a filmmaker, for example, or you're interested in that type of space.
Yeah.
These are things you consider. Or there are things you consider. You know, if you're a director, you know? You're telling the cameraman what to shoot and stuff, you know? You pay attention to these types of things. You pay attention to the framing of where you're shooting, what light should hit, where light should be.
Right, and
you have that direction, that coordination to make something beautiful.
And one thing that I really enjoy about this show in particular is that you can take any freeze frame from like most of the scenes and it is just absolutely gorgeous. And this is another really good example of that, where it's just, you know, Tanjiro.
I need to talk about this scene when we do, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I need to talk about it. Yeah. Really bad. Really, very much so. So, anyways, where are we going? So, Nezuko turns to demon Giyu Tomoya Tokiyama Giyu. First demon slayer that comes through, and he noticed there's something off about these siblings, Tenjo Nezuko. And then after trying to slay a demon, it's very interesting because he's witnessed. You got to think about it. He's a demon slayer he's Hashira, right? So he's on the upper echelon of demon slayers. So he has seen a lot. He's probably seen this exact scene: a brother with a demon, a sister turns into a demon. And saying, no, she's fine. She could turn back into him or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And he's probably had to do the deed.
Yeah.
But he's probably not very familiar with this, but he notices something that's very different about these two. And like even when he has Nezuko in like a grapple or whatever, and the scene where he's just like telling Tanjiro not to give up, because at that point Tanjiro is like he's groveling, he's on the ground, doing the Japanese dogeza, saying please don't kill my sister and stuff like that, right? Yeah. And then Giyu is like, stop, this broken pride and this broken sense of heroism is not going to save your sister. You need to act like a man,
right?
You need to act because a demon is not going to listen to your groveling. And it was at that point where you began to see Tanjiro's growth, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and the whole scene where Tanjiro runs at him just completely unarmed.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like he knew that he wasn't going to win the fight, and so he was waiting, or he was planning on attacking after the fact. That was super fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
That guy is so badass. His character is so cool, and it's just so cool because like he is basically Super Saiyan Tanjiro.
Yeah, Giyu. He is just a bit because he was they were trained by the same guy. Yeah. Odoroki, I believe.
Odoroki.
Udoroki. I don't know, something like that, right? The same dude, same old dude,
Same
the
guy.
goblin mask.
Same dude, bro, man.
Same dude, bro, dude,
Yeah.
And it was interesting. I don't want to talk about it now, but here's the thing about, okay, I am going to talk about it now. Fuck it. Because this isn't a breakdown of episodes. We're just talking about it. The thing that I love about Demon Slayer so much is that it broke something that normal, typical power shonens do.
Is this a spoiler?
You know what? Yeah. Well,
I think now would be a great time.
I guess I will say hesitant spoiler warning, but as it's Demon Slayer, you've probably already seen it.
Hopefully.
Most likely. Out of all the shows that we've done so far, you've probably seen Demon Slayer. Even if you don't watch anime, you've probably seen Demon Slayer anyways, because it's on Netflix. Anyways, the thing that I love about Demon Slayer is because they break the typical shonen thing of being able to overcome anything with the power of friendship and flashbacks.
I love that. I love that
because
so much.
He does do that. That does happen. Like when he's in the final selection, right? And he overcomes that big fat demon thing, with a bunch of arms and shit, the one that killed those other kids.
Right.
It does happen, but it keeps it realistic because that is just that's still a normal level demon. He has been there for a long time. He's aided a bunch of other demons and humans, so he's gotten really powerful and really strong, But compared to like the upper and lower 12s,
right.
Which are, if you probably have, but in case you haven't seen it, they're like the upper echelon demons.
The 12 Kizuki?
12 keys, something like that. I can't remember.
Kizuki?
It's like 12 moons or something, but Kizuki doesn't really translate to moon. But then again, so this is based on I think it's called Taisho, which is like the period, I think, is how they describe it. I'm not
12 Kizuki.
I'm not Nihongo, so I don't know these things, but I'm pretty sure it's based kind of on the more, not samurai-ish, but not really, because it's not the Edo. It's called Taisho, I think. I'm sorry. But they might use a little bit different language than I'm familiar with as far as Japanese goes,
Right.
Like I've never heard Yaiba before, which I think Yaiba more directly translates to blade rather than sword, which would be Ken. I'm guessing, But I've never heard Yaiba until I've heard, this. I think, unless Yaiba translates to something else, but he describes his sword as Yaiba, so I assume it means more like blade, which would make sense because I feel like in that type of period, they probably referred to a sword more like a prideful, like their blade,
Yeah.
Their steel, But anyways, what I'm trying to get at is there is an obvious gap between Tanjiro, sorry, that was gross, and the Hashira, which are the upper echelon demon slayers, and the upper and lower 12 Kizuki, or the higher upper echelon demons.
Right.
He's not going to win with the power of friendship.
Yeah.
That's just not how that works, Oh, so I thought that was great because in the episode, I'm skipping all the way to the episode, Zach.
Are we about to sit down and talk about the
I don't know if we're going to talk about it, but you know what? Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about that, and then I'll segue into what my point is about it not breaking the stereotype of power shonen. So, in basically the final-ish arc until it goes into kind of rest mode, the final arc is the Spider Family, which I do not remember the names of, but one of the Spider Families is a lower 12s. I can't remember how low he is, but one of them, right? Yeah, that dude. This dude, right? Homie. One of the super duper powerful motherfuckers, right? And he has this family, or this pretend family, right, of other demons trying to act like this. Nice. Trying to act like this, like a mother father type of role. That this bond that this guy was looking. Rui, yeah, Rui. That's right. That Rui was looking for, and that was kind of his whole thing. He was looking for this family bond that he learned about but never really got and never really understood. And now that he's become a demon, he's kind of forgotten about it, and he's trying to figure out this feeling that he's been missing. So that's basically what Rui's story is. And it's a very good story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Can I intervene for just a moment?
Intervene, dude.
Okay. I love the fact that they very heavily emphasized in the show the fact that demons were once human.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love that. And I love how, especially for those demons that were in like the arc, like the quote unquote boss battle of that arc, we're able to understand that these were all people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so cool. It's so cool.
It is very cool,
And I love the fact that they got into like the blood demon art and like all of just it's just so multifaceted, and I just love how much detail they put into every single part of the story that they, especially for Rui's story and for his arc and for his entire family. Like, I thought that was just so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Just because they took something as simple as like, oh yeah, there's this spider family that lives on the hill or like on the top of the mountain, like, okay, cool. That's great. Go kill him. There was that type of broken manufactured family dynamic that they were trying so hard to just act like everything was working when it wasn't, because none of them were related to each other. It was strictly manufactured by Rui. And I thought that was so fucking cool. And that was definitely one of those moments that really stuck out for me, because it was like that moment, like, holy shit, like, God, they put so much thought into every element, especially of that arc, because it's just so cool. Like, there was a backstory for the backstory, you know?
Of course.
The main, so there was like the main plot where it was like Tanjiro, Inazuke, or Inazuke?
Who?
Or Inazuki.
Nezuko?
No,
or the other guys?
the other guy. Yeah.
Well, Inosuke, which is the boar guy, and
Inosuke.
then Zenitsu.
Zenitsu.
They pronounce it differently than what it's spelled in English, but yeah, Zenitsu. Yeah.
But there was like the main plot where they were like, the three amigos were just like trotting up the hill trying to kill some demons. And then, you know, there was the story from the demon's perspective of like how they all ended up there. And I love that they put so much thought into how all the demons got to the place where they were. And that just made everything so much cooler because it was like, you know, Tanjiro, he is one of like the only demon slayers in the entire show that I've seen that has actually felt bad about killing demons because he knows that they were at one point human. Yeah. And so the scene with the mom, I forget her name, but where he...
Oh my gosh.
He was able to give her a peaceful death.
Zach, that is my favorite scene. I keep mentioning it. My favorite scene in Demon Slayer is not episode 19, not the fire dance. Hime Kagu something shit. The dance. That's not my favorite. Though it was fucking hype. It was not my favorite, Zach. It was that. Simply because of that. Because yeah, you know, Tanjiro had this kind heart, which was even more encapsulated and just talked about during the movie, which we'll talk about. Of course, we have to talk about the movie, but he's been this entire time. He has not broken that character. He has been this nice dude who is referred to these demons as people, you know, and that was brought up by another demon who was a demon doctor, which I can't remember her name, during when they were in the city. Yeah. You know, he refers to them as humans because they were once humans. And then he said, like, what was it? Even towards after episode 19, Agiu was stepping on top of the robe of Rui after he died. And then Tanjiro was like, please take your foot off of him, you know? Yeah. And then Gyo was like, he may look like a kid, but he's killed tons of people, scores of people, you know? Right. And then, you know, Tanjiro was like, even then, you know, there's a difference between wanting to kill them and then killing them because you have to, you know, or killing them not out of spite, but just out of despair, you know? Yeah. It's so cool. And the concept... I pressed 6 for some reason. Go ahead.
The concept of just them exploring the concept of the fact that they were all once human. I think that in and of itself was one of my favorite things about the entire show. And I think humanizing the villains was something that made those scenes even better. And turning something that may seem like just like badass, like, you know, fucking power shonen. Yeah. You know, just like all of that kind of like, it just adds another level of complexity and another level of like, wow, this is fucking amazing.
Well, nobody wants an antagonist who doesn't have like any backstory. Right. Or at least a good backstory, you know? Or nobody wants an antagonist with a bad backstory. Because then there's no drive. There's no reason why he's being bad. He's just being an asshole. Like, hey, stop it, dude. You're being a dick, you know? Yeah. There's a reason for every single demon that Tanjiro and gang has encountered, you know? Yeah. So that's why, oh man, guys, do I make him read Tokyo Ghoul? Shit, bro, he'll love that shit. Don't watch it though, but hey, you probably heard of Tokyo Ghoul, right?
I have, yeah.
Of course. You know? Yeah. No, sorry.
We're gonna get DMCA'd.
No, we're not. Yes, because my Japanese is too not Jozu, you know, so it's okay. Anyways, my keyboard is still fallen. I can't get up.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Tokyo Ghoul has that same idea of just like humanity, because Tokyo Ghoul is about ghouls. These type of like not zombie, but these creatures who also feed on humans. Demons, I guess, if you will, right? Yeah. But the main character... Oh, God. It's been so long since I've read it. What? Kaneki Ken. Duh. How do I forget? You know? I have the mask. I'm not going to put it on, though. He turns into a ghoul. So he's forced to, you know, be with ghouls when he needs to. And he learns there's a humanity in them. Right. There's politics in them, you know, and there's I mean, there's obviously savage ghouls who just don't give a fuck, but there's also ghouls who are like, they're just people.
Right.
And that humanity that Demon Slayer encaptures is very important in understanding why Tanjiro and why these demons need to be or are not just, you know, just savages, right? I'll just use the same word. You know, they're not just, otherwise, if they were, then they're no more than, you know, just another mob character that Tanjiro just has to beat. That's why these boss characters, like the one in the final selection and the one who hit the tatami, I can't remember. Oh no, tatami. Yeah, tatami. No, tatami is a fucking mat, Arthur, you fucking idiot. The drum thing, whatever.
Yeah.
This, you know, he had a backstory too, and there's that adds more development to that character and why when they die, it's not, you know, there's more to it. And that is why, you know, that episode not, well, of course, Rui's backstory was also very important, but even that much of like the mother spider character being tormented and stuff like that, right? And even she's being tormented to kill these demon slayers. And then when Tanjiro finally gets the upper hand and is going to kill her, he's doing it because, you know, like I said, Tanjiro does recognize these demons have killed tons of people and they cannot be forgiven. So he's going in for the kill. But he notices that the mother character realizes that if she dies, she can be free from this torment, you know? So she brings her arms up and takes it and embraces it.
Right.
So Tanjiro switches from his form that he's going to do to probably dismember her head or sever her head, changes forms to a different type of form so that when he does it, it's blissful, it's peaceful, and there's no pain, you know? And then there was this, oh my gosh, the whole scene, there was this line, oh my gosh, it was so pretty. Oh my gosh. And I remember when I got to that episode when I was watching, I even tweeted out, I was like, this is why Demon Slayer is sticking out to me over other episodes, you know, over other Power Shonen, you know? That's why it's so different. That's why I just love that scene so much. It's so simple, you know? But it brought this different humanity to it of these demons have, you know, feelings.
Wow, this is 210 by 118.
Good job,
I'm finding
Zach.
another picture.
Good job. You know, they have this, they are killing. Some of them aren't killing because they want to kill. Some of them they just have to kill because there is some not politics, I guess, but in a way there is kind of a politics and they have to abide by them. And some of them just have to kill. And I mean, that's how they eat. That's how they feast. They can't just eat food. They have to eat human flesh and blood. So they have to fight. But what if they don't want to fight? You know? What if they don't want to? They're being forced to.
Right.
What do you have to say? What can you say about that, you know? Are they in the wrong? They have to be because they killed so many people, but are they really in the wrong? And this scene is why it's so beautiful. This is why I love Demon Slayer. This is why Demon Slayer sets it apart from like the Hero Academias and stuff like that. You know, I mean, I've never watched them, so maybe they do have similar aspects.
Right.
But from Power Shonen that I know, this is why it's just there's a different air to it than Demon Slayer. But I don't know. Maybe that's just maybe that's just the new wave that's happening, and now other Power Shonen are starting to do it. Maybe Jujutsu Kaisen does it now. I don't know, but. That single episode, that scene right there is my favorite scene. It's so simple, but it tells so much.
Right. Yeah, and dude, it's just like I said before, you know, it's very complicated and it's very multifaceted, and it's the same thing in the movie too. And I mean, I'm not going to get into the movie yet because we haven't gotten to the movie time unless we want to talk about movie time.
We're gonna talk about the movie. Let's talk about episode 19.
Okay. The deep inhale just
the episode.
The fucking episode
that killed Twitter. That made me watch Demon Slayer. The episode. I'll take a drink. I'll take a sip for this. The episode that was like, okay, I need to watch this show because everybody is talking about this show. It's trending on Twitter. It's
My grandma's talking about it.
my dog is talking about it.
Wait, you don't have a dog?
That's what I'm saying.
Not anymore.
So when like episode 19 goes right, and I watch this, and okay, I already mentioned spoilers. We're just gonna fucking go for it. There's two elements to episode 19. One, the heroism, and two, the reality. So the heroism part, the part where he's fighting a lower 12, one of the upper echelon demons, as a lowest ranking demon slayer.
Yes.
And he's getting shit on. The best way I can put it, he's just
As you might.
as one might, as a low ranking scrub. Power of friendship isn't getting him very far at the moment. And then he does flashback mode. Classic. The classic flashbacks, you know, of his father, who was ill, but he performed, you know, this fire dance, which you may recognize it from things like Hawaiian fire dances or something like that. Although I don't know if it has the same ritually meaning, but it's to ward off like demons and stuff for this scenario, right? And he's ill, but he's still able to do it in the sheer cold with very light clothing. And Tanjiro, as little young baby Tanjiro, is asking his mom, why is he able to do that? Or no, he's asking his dad that, and he's saying, oh, why are you able to do that, Dad? And then Dad is like, well, son, you know, there's a breathing technique, you know? And then he describes the breathing technique and all that type of stuff. And then he does the breathing technique, and, you know, his water dragon bursts into flames and turns into I think it's something like that. Kaga something. Hime Kaga, something like that. Well, Hime, I don't know if Hime means princess. But it's so cool. And this, oh my gosh, the insert song for it is fire. The Tanjiro's theme. So Tanjiro's theme, Tanjiro's theme and Nezuko's theme too, plays all the time throughout the show. And you will probably, you maybe didn't recognize it at the time because you probably didn't know it was called Tanjiro's theme. Then this song comes on and you're like, holy fuck, this song is so hype. No, da na 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 na, ba na na da da. It's in the key of F because that's the most heroic song key of all time. You know, and then I was freaking out because when we were watching back, like since I'm rewatching again, like I said, and you know, and you're watching the first time, I hear that so many times, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the thing. But that insert song,
oh my god, they did the thing.
Oh my god, they said the word, they did the thing, you know. And I'm watching this, and it's like, you're watching episode 19, and it's so crazy, it's so heroic. He's about to die. He's like in this spiderweb cocoon that's gonna encapsulate and slice him into diced vegetable, you know, and like it looks so cool. I'm trying to find
the right picture.
Yeah, I know. But like, yeah, you know, and that whole sequence, you photo bowl, come on, man. You know, that the whole fight sequence of just the animation was fire, the music was fire, and Nezuko develops her demon arts and finally says a fucking line in the show. And, you know,
like, that's so fucking badass, bro. That's so badass.
It's so cool. Like,
oh my god, dude. It's so cool because like it, you know, like you were saying, there's a reality and then there's like, woo, heroism, power of friendship. Like there's two sides of it where obviously there's that harsh reality where it's like,
yeah, that's what I want to get into, you know?
Yeah.
So fuck spoilers. Fuck shit. You know, he doesn't kill Rui. Even though that entire sequence played. That whole thing. And you're like, let's go. You know, and you're watching episode, you're like, let's go. You stand up. What? That happened? That's crazy. My wallpaper is gone. That's crazy. Like, whoa. And then the episode ends. And imagine you're watching it while it's airing and that episode ends and you're like, whoa. How did the rest of the week you're like, hey, man, I'm gonna kill this test today, this week. I'm gonna kill this homework right now. I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna get all the bitches. You know?
And then the next episode.
And the next episode. And then that's when the reality hits.
Yeah.
Because like I said, even though this cool thing happens, what would happen in a power shonen is that's it. He beat the bad guy with the power of friendship, flashback, training arc. He did the thing. Let's go. Next episode, next boss fight. Let's go. No, he doesn't kill Rui. Rui snaps his neck before by himself so he doesn't get killed by this broken sword that he has already. You know? And then he goes to basically, you know, kill Tanjiro, you know, because Tanjiro is dead as fuck after doing all of that. And Giyu comes, the homie, the mad lad, comes through. Rui gets killed. That's what you search. Look at the first image, okay? He just goes through and kills him. Just like that. What is this zoom in, Zach?
Ah! Why is this 250 by 151 fucking JPEGs? What is this?
Look, Tomioka Giyu just comes through and just slices this shit and then walks off like it's nothing, you know? The reason why is because Giyu has been a demon, a Hashira, upper echelon. Tanjiro is the lowest of the low.
Right.
Even though he is probably maybe better than other lowest of the low, he's still the lowest of the low. He's been a demon slayer for like a year. Tomioka probably for like even longer, you know? And he's holding these skills, and he has this 11th form that doesn't, like, 11th form? What? Because, you know, Power Shonen, they're like, oh, I've developed this new power that will now defeat the enemies. And you're like, whoa, where did that come from? You know, of course. But it happens. He just slices him like it's cheese, like really like he's cheese. No effort at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that right there is the dynamic of why I love Demon Slayer, because I know you mentioned it when we were watching it. You were like, yeah, the fact that Tanjiro actually didn't kill Rui kind of blows, you know? Like that kind of ruined it. But I enjoyed that.
But
with
the power of hindsight, like after watching the rest of the show, it totally makes sense why they decided to do that. And
yeah.
I retract my statement.
Yes.
I think that what Giyu said to Tanjiro, I can't speak today apparently, was you held him off for just long enough.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he didn't die is like the most impressive thing in the world. And I mean, of course, like you said, he just went up and whoop, just deceased. Mm-hmm. But even with that being said, though, the fact that he was even able to trade blows, and even like Rui was saying, he literally said, I might be in trouble. And that was the fucking coolest thing in the world. Just for the sheer fact that, like you said, Tanjiro has been a fucking demon slayer for like a year. And he is giving this guy who is like one of 12 of the most powerful demons in the world. And they're trading blows with a broken fucking sword, you know? Like, that's the craziest part. And that just made that entire scene so much better. And just the fact that they were able to do all of that with the power of love and friendship. But also there was the reality of like, yeah, dude, like you need to train more.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went and fucking trained more.
Yeah, and he went to trade war.
And, you know, he was... Oh, dude, I love the little rehabilitation training arc at the very end of the show.
I loved it so much too.
It was so fucking good.
So after episode 19, he goes to the headquarters of the Demon Slayers where he meets all the Hashiras, all the cool dudes and the waifus, you know? And I think... I don't want to say that's the moment when you realize... No, I'm not going to say that, because I think the moment where I realize, at least, you know, where you can really tell there's that gap between them, you know? Between him as a demon slayer, the lowest rank, and then, you know, the Hashira, right? But he meets all of them, and there's this presence, and they don't... Like I said, you got to remember, these guys have been demon slayers for maybe decades, you know?
Right.
They've seen so many different scenarios. They've probably seen a similar, like I said before in the beginning, they've seen a similar scenario of a brother whose sibling, you know, turn into a demon. Is like, no, they won't eat a human. They'll be fine, you know?
Right.
And then they probably weren't fine. And then the Hashira, they probably have to finish them off, you know? Yes.
The fact that the guy, I forget the guy's name.
I don't know any of their names, so it's okay.
It's okay. Like the
Except
head
Mitsuri,
honcho,
I think.
head
love
honcho, Demon Slayer dude, bro, man, recognized Nezuko as a demon slayer, or like, or no, it was Fire dude, bro, man, the Fire Hashira.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't remember his name, but the fact that like they recognize like she is not a threat, you know, and then, oh my god,
I love her. I love her so much. Oh my gosh.
So the fact that they were able to like recognize her, I think that that's the coolest shit ever.
Yes,
and then
I
in the
agree.
movie, a Fire dude, bro, man was like, she's one of the demon slayers. Stop it. Fucking knock it off. You nasty. Fucking nasty ass.
Fuck.
Stop it.
I know what you mean, but that whole scene where like they had Nezuko in the box, and then that asshole, you know, in the white hair, Hashira, you know, was like, no, I disagree. She cannot be recognized as the demon slayer or a demon that will not attack humans. There's no proof. So he slices his own like hand or whatever, and then, or I think it was his forearm, and then stabs Nezuko a bunch and forces, you know, Nezuko to crave for human blood, and then she backs off. You know, that was a cool scene. That was a very cool scene, and it showed not the trust. No, it showed just that entire scene, not necessarily Nezuko refusing, but just the entire thing, because of course they're going to disagree, because like I said, they've seen this before.
Right.
They've probably seen it hundreds of times, probably, if any. So what is 1 out of 100? Yeah, you know, she's fine, probably. Of course they're not going to believe Tanjiro or the headmaster, you know?
Yeah.
But here we go. She backed off, and now now she's trusting. That's very cool. So this whole training arc type thing, to basically prepare for season 2, or the movie, if you will, like this is another example of how the gap in their power, you know, the gap in their abilities, and the gap in, I want to talk about Inosuke a little bit more. I guess I can, because we're kind of getting into the training arc, but I want to talk about Inosuke because when he appeared, Inosuke being the boarhead guy, Inosuke, when he appeared, first of all, I love his fight style is so fucking cool. Like when he was first fighting Tanjiro, like after they killed the drum buddy, like the way he fought was just so fucking cool. Even though obviously it's like exaggerated and doing impossible things, but it was just really cool, very coordinated, really cool. But he is technically a demon slayer. And
didn't he steal his swords just from a random dude? And he was yeah, because
is that what it was? I can't remember.
He was living up on a mountain, and then he came down the mountain, and there was a demon slayer who was trying to like steal his shit, and he was like, "Nah, I'm gonna steal your shit." And so he stole his swords. And
Get
so
fucked.
He's technically not a demon slayer.
No, he is a demon slayer. They said he did the final selection, but he went up the mountain and down the mountain super quick.
Oh,
I believe, yes. So he's just technically a demon slayer. Whether the swords he got were stolen or not, yes, he had the dual wield swords that were broken in to carve out shit, better demons shit. Anyways, he always had this arrogant vibe to him, like he's the best. Anything that you can do, I can do better. That type of thing, right? And then when he was fighting the Spider Family, he got that shit just like that reality just smacked him in the head, He is still the lowest of the low. When he was fighting the Spider Dad,
yeah,
he was getting destroyed.
Okay.
And he even admitted his death at one point.
I just love that he never said anybody's name right. I fucking love that. I looked up a compilation on YouTube after we finished the show, and I was like, that is so fucking good. It's like, it just adds to like, just the goofy clunkiness of this character. And yeah, in the show as well as in the in the movie, you can really start to see that arc of him starting to like trust everyone else and be able to be a part of a team, which is really fucking cool.
Mm-hmm. It is really cool. And I like his training arc type thing where it's just like,
Yeah.
especially like I just, you know, like I've been explaining the gap moe, not the gap moe,
Right.
but him being super arrogant, getting his shit pummeled in and realizing he isn't who he is. You know, he isn't the badass that he is. He can get his shit rocked by anybody higher than him. You know, that I really enjoy that. And that even comes more into the movie too, you know, and I'll talk about that when we talk about the movie, which we should soon. But yeah, after the episode 19, we go into the training arc. They go to the headquarters. Nezuko proves herself, and then they go and train with Shinobu, which is So, anyways, they do that, and they just go through hellish training, you know. What the? Oh, this fell. Okay, cool. They just go through hellish training, right? And
I wish they could hear that.
Tanjiro was even this had a bunch of a gap too, because there was a girl there kind of who was trained directly by Shinobu, you know, and even then, even though she was in the final selection along with Tanjiro and Zenitsu, and I maybe technically Inosuke, I don't know, but she was on a much higher level. So you can tell that, you know, that she was, you know, doing crazy shit. So their training had to reflect that, and their training was hard as shit. So much that Zenitsu and Inosuke couldn't even keep up. And Tanjiro was the only one who was doing it at some point. And Tanjiro was the one who was really focusing and really driving himself. And it was at that point where, you know, even Zenitsu and Inosuke were like, wow, this guy's freaking crazy. But he was seeing improvements, and because he had a very specific drive, you know? So he was doing the whole shit and things and getting stronger. And then finally Zenitsu and Inosuke come through. And the whole training was really just like, I don't know if it made it to the level as Kano ended up being, because, you know, Kano trained fucking forever and they probably trained a couple of weeks, you know, but they are much stronger than they once were. So another training arc, of course, as per Power Shonen, but that was a good one. And then, like I said, that was more of a preparation for next season and whatchamacallit, the movie.
Speaking of the movie, let's talk about the movie.
Let's talk about the movie, because we need to talk about shit that's fucking crazy.
Shit that's fucking crazy. Dude, this movie was fucking crazy.
I have not seen the movie. I wanted to see the movie when it came out. As soon as AMC came back in, like the theaters were back, they got Demon Slayer like immediately. So I wanted to watch it, couldn't watch it because of work, hate myself. But then I finally got to watch it now, just the other week with you. And oh my gosh.
Wasn't it literally, I think it was like a week from Monday?
I think so, yeah. Or I think it was a Tuesday.
I don't know. It wasn't that long ago.
You know,
it was
been
a couple days ago.
Not that these guys, this is backlogs, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are going to see this in like December. All jokes. But yeah, we had a chance to both watch the movie together for the first time, which was really fucking cool. Yes, dude, the fucking train, the movie about the demon on the train, the train on the demon.
Demon train.
Train
Yeah.
demon.
And then this was the movie, like I explained, was more focused on Rengoku, which was one of the Hashira, the fire Hashira. Oh my goodness. I wasn't even sure I would like this that much, because I was like, I didn't really like his character in the anime. I was like, something about him was like, I don't know. But oh my goodness.
Dude,
oh my
him
goodness.
in the movie.
Him in the movie. Oh my
God.
gosh. Yeah. Oh gosh. I'm honestly, I want to say so much, but I could just sit here and I'm just speechless, man. The movie was just so good. Ufotable did a great job, as they do.
I will say, if you haven't watched the movie, go watch the movie. If you watch the show, if you haven't watched the movie but you watched the show, go watch the movie, because it is really fucking good. And it definitely subverted my expectations by a fucking lot. And I think that you are going to really enjoy this movie, especially if you enjoyed the movie. You would enjoy the movie if you enjoyed the movie.
The show.
Yeah, if you watch the show, you would really enjoy the movie. Yeah, so we're going to talk about it unfiltered. Fucking secondary spoiler warning.
Taking a sip for this.
Yep, and my drink is gone.
Oh, I should finish mine then.
Oh, shit. Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so the movie.
The movie. This is directly after the anime, season 1. Directly after. Literally immediately after. He, Tanjiro and gang go meet up with Rengoku, who is stationed at the Infinity Train?
Yeah.
Yeah, that. And they are to assist him on this demon because there's been a lot of casualties and it seems like a crazy guy, you know? So they
Crazy Train.
Crazy Train. Don't do it. So we meet up with them and it's I'm not gonna just break down the movie, but you know, because we decided we're not gonna do that. So go watch the movie anyways. But basically, a demon on the train. Crazy concept. I know. Couldn't figure that one out, you know? When we finished watching the movie, bro, I was like after Avengers Infinity War, like, fuck, dude. You know what I mean?
Dude, it's so funny.
Like, going home from the theaters after, not Endgame, but Infinity War, just like in the car, like, fuck.
Yeah. I was sitting.
That's how I describe it.
I was sitting in my chair, like,
just fetus, yeah, fetus mode, just like, or fetal position, like, man. So the movie.
Yeah, dude, the movie was so good. And the reason why I feel like it was so good is because it really did subvert your expectations on what was going to happen. And that, I think, was my favorite part. The fact that it didn't end up being what we thought it was going to be. It didn't end up ending the way we thought it was going to be. It didn't end up doing a lot of the things that we were expecting it to be. And that's what made it perfect. It wasn't a, you know, a crowd pleaser. It wasn't like a fan service the entire way through, you know. It was fucking insane. And I love that they also did a similar thing with the train demon, the demon on the train, where she was trying to become one of the
It's a dude.
Oh. He was trying to become one of the 12 Kizuki.
No, he was. He already was.
Wait, he already was?
So what happened was, Michael Jackson, right?
Hang on. I know.
You got it?
I got it.
You got it.
So,
Here we go. Michael Jackson.
So Michael Jackson. He was like the lower Kizuki. How many was it? 6? Yeah.
Michael Jackson? No, he's the top dude.
No, I'm saying how many were in the lower?
Oh, the low. Well, 6'6", right? So 12.
Yeah.
Total.
Yeah. So
Michael lower 6.
Maxwell Jackson, Michael Jackson looking dude. Arthur, pull up a picture of him. He's hilarious looking. So Michael Jackson decides that he's gonna get rid of the lower 6. Hang on.
Michael Jackson. Yeah. Hey yo.
Hey yo. How did this just turn into Michael Jackson memes?
I forget what his name is. Muzan. Oh, of course, Muzan.
Muzan.
Jesus. Muzan. Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy.
He decides that he's gonna get rid of the lower 6
because they're too weak or
because
whatever.
they're too weak or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then this. Oh
my gosh! That whole world sequence was so cool. Oh my gosh! The animation of it.
The one with the sideways stairs and shit?
That was so cool. Oh my gosh. I was freaking the fuck out.
Dude, that was some like weird fucking Black Mirror type shit. No, it reminded me of like Doctor Strange.
I've never seen Doctor Strange.
You need to fucking watch Doctor Strange. It's really good. But On another note,
I heard Doctor Strange is just a movie about cheating on your wife, but anyways. Or like polygons.
Polygamy?
Porygon.
Porridge?
But
So
it's so cool. Oh my gosh.
Oh, dude, and the fact that
Okay, I need to set up the fact that first of all, when you look at this motherfucker, he does not. You're not intimidated. This is a dude. This is a fuckboy.
and then right under my face, here, scroll down just a little bit.
You slow down too. Yes. Like you're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the way he's presented in the show, I remember, we're going back to the show now, that scene where he confronts those drunk people.
Yes.
That performance was so good. His voice, the voice acting for it was so good. And again, that's saying how freaking crazy, how talented these Seiyu are. That set the mood for Mugen. Like you maybe like before it was like him. I don't know. When he was in the streets and Tenjiro confronted him in the streets, I don't think that really showed how much of a crazy person he was. It was during that when he fucked up those drunk people and just deletus that woman with his fingernail, you know? And he had that entire performance, his voice that just a long sequence of him just like dialoguing towards the woman, of course. It was so good. It was so well done. And the voice actor did a very good job.
I agree.
And that performance was what set how crazy person this person is, Mugen. You know? And then this scene in the movie where the things are all topsy-turvy, topsy tippy-toppy, you know?
Topsy tippy-toppy.
Tippy-toppy-turvy.
Yeah.
That is when things were like you know, he was just killing off the other demon. Like, you gotta remember, these were the lower six, of course, and he was getting rid of them because they were too weak, but they were still the lower six. And we've seen from Rui, they are still powerful as shit.
Yeah.
You know? So them being deathly afraid
of Muzan.
Muzan, yeah. And Muzan just picking them off. Just like that.
He literally just fucking Thanos snapped 5 out of the lower 6.
Or 4, because 6, Rui's dead.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So 4, but yeah. See, you gotta be detailed, Zach. Otherwise, the Demon Slayer community is coming for you.
I'm sorry.
Literally, you know, they are terrified of Mugen. So now I was setting up more of the scene of Mugen being a crazy person.
Yeah.
And somewhat of him being how having that pedestal of you understanding how immaculate his presence is. And then there's that one just masochist dude who's just like, his voice acting is very good too, by the way. Oh my goodness. He really draws out that psychotic masochist type, you know, voice in that character. It's so true to life. Not even true to life, it feels so true to life, you know? Like it's an actual person, you know? And that's the thing. It doesn't sound like a character, it's a person. It sounds like a person. So that character is like, yes, please kill my daddy, you know? And then Muzan's like, I like that. And then he injects the serum. He has blood. He injects copious amounts of blood into him, and then he just turns. What's his fucking name? I don't fucking remember.
Super Saiyan.
Not Super Saiyan. Super masochist. He just turns Super Saiyan. You know, gets these crazy powers.
Oh my god, the fucking sleepy hand. That shit was so dude. Fucking creepy. Like, okay, as not creepy as this show was, at least for me, that fucking hand, dude, literally was like, it was so disturbing because it just like walked around and it looked like the Joker from Suicide Squad. You know how he has the smile tattoo?
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah, it just looked like that, just like crawling around, and it was just like, ugh. I just wanted to like step on it, just like fucking nasty. Stop being so gross. And the fact that this demon was able to just make everyone fall asleep, and everyone was just kind of battling through their dreams and stuff. Like that was such a fucking cool concept. Like
Well,
it was so cool.
it was like the way more of building that character, though he wasn't too protein. When he described like he was manipulating these people, like the conductor and the kids, you know, I will spare you. I will give you good dreams if you do what I say, you know, and then he made them sleep and have good dreams. And the kids were so just brainwashed to this idea of, you know, all these people dying and they're being threatened, but they can live and they can just, even if they have to die, they can have nice dreams, you know. But then he just and then later towards the end, you know, spoiler warning, you know, y'all get it. You know, he's describing like, my favorite thing is to have them have a good dream and then make it turn into a nightmare and then kill them off. Because he loves seeing the despair and the horror in their face and their psyche, you know?
That was so dark. Like that was such a kind of dark turn that character took, the demon. And I mean, it was a demon that was just killing a shit ton of people, so obviously it was already a little dark, but that was like the moment that it went from kind of dark to like, wow, holy shit, that's really fucking dark. You know? But yeah, it was definitely very fascinating to watch the kid who went into Tanjiro's head.
The one with tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis.
Right? That's what it was, right?
Tuberculosis, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, and he ended up coming out like crying, and he was like,
well, because so what happened was the kids go into their bodies, their dreams, and they have to find this spiritual thing. I forget what it's called. Sorry. This spiritual kind of core, if you will.
Yeah.
And then if you shatter it, they die, and then they can escape. Well, the kids can escape, right? The kid who went into Tanjiro's body, you know, he was witnessing this happiness that Tanjiro had and the sorrow that he had. And, you know, he went outside into what happened. Okay, I guess I should go more into detail. So they enter this dream world that the Demon Slayers are in, right? Which is a nice dream, you know? Very pretty dream usually, right? And then what's going to happen is that they have to exit because the dream has a proximity.
right.
They have to leave the proximity, break that barrier, and exit, and then enter this type of spiritual area, which is, I guess, their heart.
The subconscious, I think, is
The subconscious, sure. And then, you know, like Rengoku, who was the fire Hashira, was like engulfed in flames and stuff, you know? And then Tanjiro's was just this bliss, clear blue sky.
It reminded me of the scene in the last episode of Your Lie in April.
I know.
You knew that was exactly what I was thinking.
I knew because I did too.
Yeah.
It's just like this place, and then there's these creatures that come and help him find the core to kill Tanjiro, you know, and then he feels bad. You know, I am going to kill this kind person. This person whose own heart showed me where to kill him. You know? And then that's also, like I was saying, you know, that really emphasizes how kind of a person Tanjiro is. And then he comes out, he said, you know, like, I'm so sorry. I apologize, and, you know, good luck. And then that was a very good scene.
And then the whole fucking train turns into a goddamn demon.
Demon train. Yes. So he turns to demon. Or no, not yet.
Train turned to demon.
Well, I mean, he did, but it's the big reveal was not yet, right? Because Tanjiro comes to the roof and they have rooftop train battle shit. Or I need to say how Tanjiro escapes from the dream. He commits Sudoku. He kills himself.
I forgot.
That's... What? How did... That's insane. Okay, to put it in perspective, for the homies listening, that sounds like, man, shut the fuck up, bro. I fucked my headphones up doing that. Hold on. So, I'm gonna talk about an anime you don't know about. ReZero. So ReZero is a show that I might make you watch because you like dark shit.
Fuck yeah.
So I don't think I'll watch it with you, but I did watch the first season. It was cool. Anyways, so there's this guy. His name is Subaru, and Subaru, yeah. And he gets isekai'd, which means transported to another world, just randomly. And he has this power that when he dies, he just goes back in time, and it's kind of like checkpoint status, save point status. He dies and he just goes back to a certain point. What happens is that he has that sounds so. The reason why it's so dark is because that sounds so hunky dory. I'm invincible.
Yeah,
I can just keep redoing stuff. And I think the title was like ReZero Redo in Another World or something like that. Because it's one of the super long titles. But it's more to that because he has to die. He doesn't just die and wake up. He has to experience death. If he wants to restart, he has to commit suicide. And there's a mental trauma to that. There's a mental barrier to that. There's this not more, I don't know if moral is the right word, but this like Tanjiro was doing, he has this sword into his neck to, slice his head off. You don't just, all right, I gotta kill myself, I bet, you don't just do that. You have to, I don't even have to explain it. That's so obviously, you can't just do that. So to do that there's you have to destroy this mental moral barrier that you have to not slice your head off. And I mean, you can, and the way the movie did it was like, he was like hyperventilating, and he's trying to, it's like, like as you would.
Yeah.
Because you don't just, what? That was crazy. I was not thinking that. I thought he would just like encounter the kid maybe in his dream, like, okay, hey, let's figure this out, Nah, bruh. So that was cool. And the reason why I'm bringing that up, not only because it's freaking crazy, is because the demon controlling the train has sleepy powers, as we've explained, sleepy powers. He can make you fall asleep with this weird hand shit, And he keeps putting Tanjiro to sleep when Tanjiro tries to make advances on him. The way Tanjiro wakes back up is he commits suicide again. In his dream. Like he's going to advance, and then he gets hit with Sleepy Boy, and he passes out in his dream. And you kind of see like these distinct pictures of him just like chopping his head off, Not it's not too crazy, but because it's like a picture and it's like kind of blurry-ish. But it's you see it.
It's like, fucking grim.
It's still grim, And that, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. He wakes up and just has to just kill himself. That's crazy. And then at some point, he like, that thing that I explained before, like he makes, the demon makes him have like a bad dream or whatever before he kills him off. He makes him have a dream of Tanjiro's family just like being shitheads to them. And then Tanjiro wakes up, not even killing himself. He's like, my family would never say that. And then, decapitates him, like get fucked, And then, oh my gosh, no, I'm just so, the fact that he has to commit suicide, that's so crazy. That was such a crazy twist.
Yeah, I honestly had no idea what to think when his dad showed up in his dream and he was like, you know what you have to cut. And Tanjiro was like, yeah. Fucking. It's like, holy shit.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Like, what the fuck? But that really does show his willpower, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like the lengths that he would go to try to help out others is he would literally risk killing himself in real life because it got to the point to where he had to have his eyes closed and he didn't know if he was in a dream or in real life. And he went to went to do it again.
Yeah,
and
after everybody woke, or not everybody, but the Demon Slayers woke up and they split up. The Hashira woke up Rengoku and he's like, okay, I'll take care of the tentacle buddies in the train. Oh yeah, not on my camera, sorry. He's not, big reveal, demon buddies, not actual demon buddy. Tanjiro, didn't decapitate him. He's actually the train. Demon train. So now there's tentacle buddies floating around and then everybody wakes up. Fantastic. Fend them off. You, Tanjiro, and Inosuke, you go and find the demon's head and cut it. you know? And they find the demon's head, and obviously, as it being the demon's head, it's being heavily protected by a bunch of creepy eyes on mushy demon flesh shit, you know?
And hands.
And, you know, but every time you make eye contact with those eyeballs, you enter a dream state. So you have to commit Sudoku every single time, you know? So Tanjiro, he enters like the belly of the beast, and there's eyes everywhere. No matter whenever he wakes back up, he's looking at an eye. So he has to keep killing himself. He's doing over and over and over and over and over again until at some point he confuses reality with his dream. And then he's about to Sudoku himself in real life because he thought he's in a dream. Oh, I'm still in the... he says eyes are closed. And then Inosuke stops him because Inosuke is a god. But,
yes.
And, you know, because he's wearing the mask, he can't fall asleep because it's hard to tell where the eyeball is, you know? So very cool sequence. And then they finally sever the head. Everything is all hunky-dory, Zach. Demon Train is gone, Zach. But there's still 30 minutes left in the movie.
And now we talk about Sad Boy Hours.
And then we talk about Sad Boy Hours. First of all, before we enter Sad Boy Hours, that fight was fucking insane.
With Fire Dude Bro Man?
Fire Dude Bro Man, I think his name was Asuka, I think. With Rengoku and Asaka? Something like that.
I'm looking it up.
All right, go ahead, look it up. That oh my gosh, bro, the music, that was so fire. Oh my gosh, Zach, have you listened back to it at all since we've watched the movie?
Akaza.
Oh my gosh, dude, it's so good. Oh my goodness, that whole fight,
so good.
The whole sequence. Oh my, it was so hype. It's like I said, it's like one of those fight sequences that you can just watch. I mean, obviously it's not on YouTube because copyright. It's probably copyrighted to shit. But oh my goodness, it's so good. And the what am I trying to say? Dude, I just love the soundtrack. You gotta fucking listen to it again. The auto tune kind of, because there's kind of this theme of like, I don't know how to describe it, because the way Asuka is kind of designed is kind of like this Egyptian type of, you know, that type of thing, you know?
Yeah, like Egyptian pharaoh type vibe.
Yeah. And the music kind of reflected that with that kind of chant, like, oh my gosh, dude. I was listening to an OST or to the OST of it, and there's a comments, and in the comment, the top comment was like, bro, when that soundtrack played in the theaters, bro, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. That was so crazy. I keep thinking about that fight scene. I bought it on Amazon. I'm gonna go watch it again.
Just the fight scene.
Just the fight scene, because it was so good.
It was such a good fight scene.
And now, another example of how Tanjiro and Inosuke are just not in the same level. Not even close. You know, even Inosuke, who I was saying, you know, who thought he was the coolest badass motherfucker. He was like, I can't even see them move. There's no opening. I can't jump in, and even I jump in, even I know that I'm gonna be a hindrance. That's crazy, you know?
Oh yeah, it's just absolutely insane.
So that's another thing, another example of just how they can't just power friendship their way through. This is an upper 6, by the way, or upper 12th. Although there's number 12 anymore, but an upper 12. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't remember which one it was, but Akaza. He, you know,
right?
He's way stronger than Rui. Way stronger than the Demon Train, and the Demon Train ended up being lower first. So the best of the 6, which, you know, there is no 6 anymore, you know. But he was an upper, so he was still an upper first, you know?
Right.
Or not upper, lower first. So, and he was badass as shit still. He was still causing trouble. Akaza is an upper 6.
Upper Moon 3.
Upper Moon 3. Third. That's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally get what you mean.
That's just not.
It's just like, oh wait, where's the...
So that is another example of just how much of a difference there is. Because even Rengoku, who was this entire time in the movie, Zach, has been this badass, untouchable guy.
So badass.
So badass, you know?
Right.
This charismatic character. This character that just like, you could tell, like even without Akaza, you can tell he's just on a different level than Tanjiro and Inosuke and Zenitsu. You know? But even Akaza was giving him troubles and dealing blows and stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Putting in the work, making Rengoku have to really fight. That, oh my gosh. You can't power friendship that, you know? You can't.
No.
You can't. And that's why that type of fight was like this crazy, you know? So yeah.
And then,
you know, the reality hits.
Yeah.
Because he's still too powerful. And then he gets the upper hand, and we get, you know, he gets his hand stuck into Rengoku to kill him. And, you know, Rengoku is just dead, but his willpower still makes it so that he tries to still sever his head. What was really interesting was how Akaza was all on about, like, Rengoku, please turn into a demon so you can keep fighting.
Yeah.
That was an interesting dynamic. I thought at some point after watching this that Rengoku would agree and then finally just turn into a demon. I was kind of waiting for that, to be honest.
I was low-key waiting for that too, honestly.
I felt like because he was egging it on so much, and Rengoku, I thought so because when we wouldn't flashback dream mode with Rengoku, his dad was like not, you know, cool with him being a Hashira. He didn't care, you know. And even though Rengoku was this prideful person, you know, when you enter his dream state, his heart, and his dad's not even approving of him, I was like, man, he might turn into it. That would be crazy. What if he agreed? Okay, I'll turn into a demon. What if he did that? That was crazy. And I was waiting for it. I felt like all the clues were just saying, yeah, he's going to do that. But then he didn't. So that's good. But unfortunately, because he didn't, he was not able to live. Even when Akaza had his arm in his stomach to kill him, Akaza was like, you can still live. Turn into a demon. I can turn into a demon. This would be nothing if you were a demon. If you turn into a demon, you'll be fine. You know?
Yeah.
That was very interesting. And what was really interesting, I guess, because of that whole dynamic, was that Akaza just wasn't interested in, like, feasting on him or anything, as all demons have been so far.
Right.
He was interested in fighting, in battling. And he thought Rengoku was a worthy opponent for that. So he was like, I want you to be a demon so we can fight forever, you know?
Right.
That was an interesting character dynamic with Akaza, you know? Because all the demons so far, like I've said, it was just concerned about eating and consuming. But maybe when after your upper six, there's no reason to. Because the diminishing returns.
Did you really just say fucking diminishing
The diminishing returns of eating humans is so low that there's no reason for them to eat humans anymore because they're just so powerful.
I'm sorry, fucking what?
I mean, I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong. But at the same time, it's like, why the fuck would you say something like...
It's funny.
I know it's an inside joke, and I know that it's a podcast running joke, but it's just like
the diminishing returns of eating humans, Zach, as one has, as one might have,
as one
does,
might.
So, oh, excuse me. So that was a cool dynamic, but yeah, he still died. Rengoku, and it was very sad, boy. But like, what's up?
Can we talk about the fact that Tanjiro and Inosuke, Inosuke, they beat a lower one demon?
They did do that.
That
was great,
and that's fucking cool. That should be an achievement for them. Yay, go you!
You!
I'm sorry your friend died, but It's still that harsh reality of like the upper and lower moons in the demons. Like it's just a fucking night and day difference. And that's something that Muzan was saying.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying like, how are you guys so not powerful when I am giving you my blood? like get better essentially. And so the demon train demon was like the top of the lower 6, and that's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm. So that's an achievement because Rui was like 4 or something. I don't know.
I don't even remember.
I don't know that either. And Tanjiro wasn't able to kill him, but now they were able to kill lower first, you know, and that's good. But still, that gap, that you don't stand a chance.
Oh, right.
If Tanjiro would just sword fight with Rengoku would pound his shit in. And he still lost Rengoku. You know? And then there was that scene where, Inosuke and Zensu and Tanjiro were crying and stuff, and like, I wish I was better. Because power friendship is not going to get you. It's not going to beat a higher up demon.
Can I say that I just find it absolutely fucking hilarious that Tanjiro just got a new sword and he just threw it into a fucking demon, and now he has to get another sword? Like, I find
can't wait for season 2 for the
like,
guy to be upset as shit again.
That was funny as shit. I mentioned that after the movie. I was like, is he gonna have to get a new fucking sword again?
I don't know. Maybe Akaza throws it out again and Tanjiro goes grab it.
Just imagine like the post-credit scene. He's like, I hate you, you coward. And then he like throws his sword and it sticks into this demon, and he's like, and then you just cut to Tanjiro just like, I'm gonna take that. Thanks.
Give me back my sword, bro.
Just like,
that was a cool throw though. Like he initiated the fire dance thing just to,
yeah, he just fucking dart throw.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. But that was a really crazy sequence too, of just like, we're fighting you in your advantage in the dark, where you're the most powerful. Us humans who have nothing, who only have our swords. You demons who regenerate. Fight me, coward, you know?
Yeah.
That's so... That whole speech. And again, another beautifully performed by the Seiyu.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That was so good.
It was good.
Just the way that the entire movie was laid out and how everything was made was just so well done. And now I just want to watch it again. So Arthur, I'm going to steal your Amazon info so I can watch it again.
Man, let's just watch it on on a big screen.
Fuck it, dude.
On a good TV, like downstairs my house or your house or whatever. Just watch Demon Slayer. Because I bought it. And then Discord doesn't let me stream it because, I mean, it shouldn't anyway, so that's fine, because of obvious reasons. So we had to watch it on a site
that we're not going to tell you.
You guys know, everybody here knows. Everybody watching probably doesn't have a Crunchyroll, so no matter. Anyways. That was great. But just so you know, before I get my shit rocked, I did buy the movie. So in theory, I could have had Zach come over and we could have watched it like that. But because of circumstances, we couldn't. So we just watched it through Discord. But I did buy it, so I cannot be in trouble because I own it.
Get fucked.
Get fucked. Anyways, yeah, that would be fun. Gosh, I don't really have much to say, man. Just watch the movie and watch the show.
Yeah, I think that
I really wanted to say more, but like it's so, you really have to experience it because it is a Normie anime.
Yeah,
it's not too. There's a lot to think about, but there's not too much to think about because it is kind of just out there. And after you think more about it, then it makes what's out there better. But it isn't really something to, other than like the ending of the movie where you just sit down and just in depresso mode. But even in depresso mode, there isn't too much to talk about. You just got to watch it and pog with your friends about it. That's what the type of movie it was, Pog. That's the type of movie it was because it was so hype and the fight scene was so fucking crazy. And honestly, like I said, I might just pull up the fucking movie and we'll just watch the fight scene again because it was so fucking fire. No pun intended. No pun intended. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love the fact that we were able to watch the movie together, both of us, for the first time. I think just kind of being able to get that genuine experience was just like, it was so cool.
Yeah.
And to be able to just kind of, both of us not know what to expect, both of us going in blind, and both of us be able, like, come out of it like, holy fuck, I was not expecting that.
I can't imagine how it must have been to come out the theaters for that.
Oh my god, dude.
Gosh.
People would have been crying and shit. Like,
if they ever come back to the theaters, I don't know if they do theaters ever like so this is coming from someone who doesn't go to theaters very often. Do they ever re-premiere movies?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, they did do Demon Slayer like mid-Rona, so they might do it again. I don't really know, but
yeah, I don't know. But we'll try and watch it again. Maybe, you know what? When we get the new house, we are going to invest money on a good TV.
8K.
Maybe not 8K, but 4K.
8K.
No, I don't think 8K. Maybe 4K.
120 inches.
Okay. We'll get a projector. But yeah.
8K projector.
Okay. You buy that then.
I'm joking. I'm just obsessing over 8K because the camera that I just bought can shoot.
Yes,
8K.
you are going to. And we're going to, after the shoot, which we're going to end pretty soon, we're going to go grab it. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah. Anyways, I don't think I have much to say. It's Normie Anime. It's on Netflix. Subbed. Listen. If you watch dub anime, then you watch dub anime. It's just fine. Go ahead. It's all good. You are entitled to what you are entitled to. But I promise you, the performance that these voice actors and actresses do to really bring out these characters, especially Tanjiro, you will not be disappointed if you watch the English sub version or the Japanese dub, if you will.
Okay.
Bless you.
Thank you. I have watched dubbed and subbed. Like, I've watched an episode of a dubbed anime, and it was fucking weird. I've watched them both. I have watched episodes back to back on both ends, and there is nothing better than the original when it comes to the voice actors. Also, I have found, in my personal experience, watching it subtitled makes it so that I have to give it my undivided attention.
Yes, good.
And that is a good point. That is something that a lot of people don't really think about because they're like, oh, well, I don't want to read. Well, you know what? Fucking pucker up, Buttercup, because the acting performance is better. It keeps you more engaged. And also it really makes it so that you understand exactly how it was supposed to be made.
Yeah. And exactly the story. I mean, listen to Zach right now. He was just pulling all these names out of his ass. You know?
Out of my sphincter.
Not out of his ass. Out of his brain, because he paid attention. He didn't just have Demon Slayer watching in dub in our language in a second monitor and playing Minecraft in the other monitor, you know?
Jackson.
We were giving it our undivided attention. That was the only thing we were doing. Maybe I had Discord open to respond to some things, but actually, no, I didn't really, to be honest. I didn't. But
and screenshots.
And
those are important.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I just had to press one button, so it was fine. But even during the movie, I did not screenshot. I did a couple of screenshots for like really easy ones with like longer still frames. I was like, yeah, there we go. But man, I was just like watching right now. Oh my Lord. We should have a TV that's like this.
Well, then I couldn't see it.
Well, not for the set, but like when we have the new house and then we have a, you know?
Yeah, I get you.
We make a theater room and then we have a TV that you go like this.
And then you could just lay at it.
Yeah. Anyways, so. Whoop. Oh, God. We gotta go. But.
Yes.
That was a good episode. I think probably just talking about things rather than just breaking every episode down is probably a better format. So for those who, if you did stick around through the whole Bunny Senpai episode, thank you. If not, You know, I get it. It was like 3 hours, so you know.
Oh my god, dude, that was a fucking mission of an episode. But
although it was technically the most organized episode, technically, because we were just going arc by arc episode, chronologically, you know. But I think, you know, the spirit of this show needs to be just discussed, just a bunch of boys talking, you know. So
just a bunch of guys being dudes,
just a bunch of dudes being guys. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I appreciate, or listening, audio listeners, visual watchers. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate what we've done so far with the set, and I am really Hinokami. That's what it is. Hinokami. Thank you so much for listening. This is by far, even though it's not as, I mean, you know, I hate to say, I never say like my number and stuff, but obviously, you know, it's obvious, you know, it's not as popular as it once was in the first couple episodes, but that's okay. Because I really enjoy making these episodes. I enjoy coming just talking to you, Zach, of course, just any time. But even for this, I enjoy, as a video filmmaker type of dude, creating a set type of thing and turning my studio that I've created in here to be an actual studio. Something that I've always wanted to do. And now we've done that. And like I've always say, when we go back to like the first episode, just to see how different it is.
Right.
From now. It's so crazy.
It is so crazy.
You know?
And like, yeah, it's definitely been a slow kind of progression just from where we started to where we are now. And it is...
Wait for anybody. Oh, you didn't hear that. It's okay. Like, where's episode 1? Look at episode 1. Shut up. Look how different it is. Look at our shots, you know?
Yeah. Look at me.
Look at you. Look at me. The evolution of this show has been so crazy, you know? And I just love how much it's how much it's changed, you know?
Right.
I really feel like after everything we've done so far to make this set what it is, it really feels like a podcast. It really feels like a show. And obviously it still feels like a conversation between you and I that we didn't have normally anyways, but the filmmaker video person in me really feels proud of what we've done.
I agree.
And proud of the set that we've accomplished.
I definitely agree. And the fact that we're able to do everything in a very seamless way to where we could just press record, do all the stuff that we are doing while we're sitting here, and then it's just boom, episode's done. You may need to do color corrections, some audio tweaks and whatnot, but other than that, then it's just like the episode can go straight out, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, I'm just so proud of it. You know, I really can't emphasize just, I feel really happy with what we've done, you know?
Right.
I feel really happy, even if, you know, what is this, 100 or so views? That's pretty good for 30 subs, no real marketing or anything like that. It's ground up Twitter. Maybe, I don't know if you did any TikTok stuff, but you know.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's really, I'm proud of it. And even though now we're back to kind of like the 10-20 range for 30 subs, that's still a good ratio anyways. So why not, you know, fuck it.
Yeah. And also you got to think too that, you know, even over the course of this backlog that we have, like it could change.
You can change.
And I think that that's one of the most exciting things for me is not necessarily thinking about where we're at as of recording. It's just kind of thinking about where we're going to be at when it goes up. Like that's fucking cool. But anyways, I'm going to go get a camera.
As one does.
As one might.
As one usually may do. So yeah, thank you everybody for sticking around as per usual. Where's my mouse? There's my mouse. Links and stuff, Patreon, and I think in the episodes that are airing as we're talking, I set up the Patreon and I could go check the Patreon and it's not ready yet. But by now, you should probably see the Patreon. So
wait, the Patreon isn't up yet?
No. Well, I have it set as like, I'm figuring it out right now. But it's basically going to be up and running by the time you guys probably see this and maybe last couple episodes. But yeah, Patreon and Coffee links down below that like and subscribe button. And do you have anything else to say?
I love your face. Thank you guys for listening to us banter for 2 hours. If you guys have any show recommendations for both of us to watch, just go ahead and put it down in the comments. It may take a while because we do have a backlog of a lot.
It's okay. But we are going to do a thing where we're going to have like a monthly talk about a show. Or at
Yeah.
least the show being the theme. This theme obviously being Demon Slayer, bringing into Normie Anime and stuff. Oh man, I want to talk about Sword Art Online. Fuck. Okay, we'll talk about it another time because we're talking about Normie Anime. Fuck it, dude. Shit. Fuck. Shit. Fuck.
Shit ass tit.
Shit.
Shit.
Fuck.
Fuck.
Pussy.
All right. I love your guys' faces. We will see you in the next episode. I'm fucking out of y'all.
Goodbye. Oh.
Oh, that was a horrible idea.
Terrible idea.